hotel security. Oh shit, do I follow the police? I follow the police. Always. Jed? My Jed? Skiddler.
Oh, you will get arrested. Now stop.
Shit. I feel we're filming this. I love Skiddler. I'm not gonna let anything happen. Is Gross Gore Skiddler? The fuck is going on?
Why are you streaming this? You're a goon.
You gotta film everything. It's content, lad. It's content, lad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
As many of you may have already seen on both the RS3 and Old School RS homepage, an altercation concerning a few content creators broke out after RuneFest 2018. But what actually transpired that night was kept rather vague in this post made by Jagex. Yet keep in mind that what happened transpired outside of and way after RuneFest had ended, so it was probably best of Jagex in doing so. However, that is where this video comes in. One thing worth noting from Jagex's statement here was that, quote, "The safety and well-being of those in and around our events is of paramount importance to us. Having reviewed the allegations, we have found that the content creators concerned did breach our code of conduct. We do not tolerate inappropriate or offensive behavior in any way, and while we had a limited working relationship with some of the individuals, we will not be working with them or allowing them to attend future Jagex events going forward." Unquote. Now, simply put, there are always two sides to every story, and I am reviewing both sides from a non-biased standpoint. With that said, the statement and actions taken by Jagex are very much worth keeping in mind when reviewing the statements from both parties. With that said, to explain what happened, I am going to start by reading over the statements posted by Skiddler on his Twitter page. The only reason I am using Skiddler's statement over Gross Gore is because 1. Skiddler's post is what Gross Gore responded off of, and 2. It is much more brief compared to Gross Gore's video statement that is just under an hour long. However, as I read each paragraph, I will also go over Gross Gore's responses and his side of the situation. So just going right off this Twitter post made by Skiddler, we're just gonna dive right into what he had to say. Given it has now come out, and there are very contradicting stories circulating Twitter, I think it's probably wise that I write a quick statement on what happened between me and Gross Gore after RuneFest on Saturday, October 6th. After RuneFest, lots of people, both content creators and RuneFest attendees, went back to the Aviator Hotel, where Jagex had kindly put many of us up. Gross Gore, along with a bunch of friends, were also in attendance at the bar in the hotel. So far, both stories collaborate on this. I had heard from various women who were there that Gross Gore had made inappropriate sexual remarks to them, which made them feel incredibly uncomfortable. One of these women was a very close, reserved, and lovely friend of mine, Rachel. He had sat down next to her and repeatedly commented on her breasts and how attractive they were. She made it clear to Gross Gore that she was uncomfortable. However, he continued not only making comments, but fetched multiple people whom he was with to validate his opinion on her breast. Rachel approached me shortly after, distraught, and left the hotel. Now, before moving on, we're going to see what Gross Gore had to say in response to this.
And I'm going to be really realistic, and I mean no offence to the woman, none at all. But the woman, she was wearing a really revealing top, and maybe, you know, that's great. We live in 2018. You can wear whatever you want. But I think a lot of people need to understand that if you're going to wear something so revealing, people will comment on it. That's life. If I drove around in a Ferrari, people are going to comment on the Ferrari. It's just the way people are. And I apologise if the woman took offence. So there's a lady to my right, and she was wearing a very revealing shirt. And me being me, I'm not going to lie at all. You guys know me more than ever, and I did say, and her name was Rachel. I said, "Hi, nice to meet you. What's your name?" Rachel. And she's got, "Hi, I'm Rachel." "Hi, Rachel." And I said, "Raj, meet Rachel. Raj, meet Rachel and her tits." Now, I apologise. That was inappropriate. But the truth is, I just, you know, it's a passing comment I make on stream all the time. It's just I can see where she's coming from and where everyone's coming from, and I understand if you don't know Gross Gore, you wouldn't really get it. But there was no bad blood. There wasn't meant to be seen as an assault or harassment. Now, after this, I've absolutely just shook my head and gone, okay, I can't even be me in the real world. And I'm not some predator or some guy who harasses women. That's not me. But I can't be joking me when I'm just passing a comment. And so, yes, I do apologise to Rachel. I'm really sorry for upsetting you and for all this that's happening. I don't know if your friends are just making this worse than what it is, but I'm really sorry. I had a few drinks. I wasn't totally drunk. I do remember everything, and I didn't mean to make you feel awkward. And this is me coming from me in front of my viewers saying sorry. So that's it. And I'm not just there, but they're all women at RuneFest where I do compliment women a lot. And if a girl's wearing something nice, or a woman's wearing something nice, I would say, wow, the fishnets, lads, woof, out of 10 lads, what do you think? And if any women out there feel uncomfortable from what all the compliments, then I'm sorry. And that's that.
I believe that covers all the clips involving Gross Gore's statements about what was said towards the females involved in the altercations. So, moving on in Skiddler's tweet. Alright, about 20 minutes later, police had turned up at the hotel. This, I believe, was due to the noise complaints by other guests who had paid to stay. So the police were there to clear people out. I went outside the front of the hotel and saw Gross Gore with about 6 of his friends. I approached him in a casual manner and asked him if I could have a word with him in private. He obliged and told his friends to allow us to speak. I walked around 5 meters away from his friends and other hotel guests who were outside smoking when I stated, quote, "Look, Allie, you've really upset one of my close friends with some of the things you've said to her, and it's absolutely not acceptable to talk to people like that," unquote. He responded instantly in an aggressive, raised tone, shouting, quote, "Are you really gonna fucking white knight that stupid bitch?" Unquote. Really, you're gonna fucking do this? Question mark. Here I made it abundantly clear to Gross Gore that I sought no physical or violent confrontation, just that I wanted to make it clear that he'd upset a close friend of mine to the point by which she went home. At most, I sought an apology for her and perhaps some remorse on his side. Gross Gore began to, moving to part 2, get more hostile and continued to raise his voice. As a result, people started gathering around and spectating what was happening. I said, quote, "Look, Allie, I do not want to fight, so can you calm down? I just wanted to talk to you," unquote. He responded, quote, "But you do want to fucking fight, don't you?" Unquote.
And at this point I'm getting a bit defensive and I'm getting a bit scared and because I don't want to do this. And I told him, and he's yelling at me about this girl and how he's just going on and on about how what I said, a comment on Rachel's tits. He didn't offer me to come inside and apologise to her. He didn't give me an option. All I know is he's yelling at me and I know he wants to fight me. And I said to him to his face, you want to fight me. And he's took that out of context on his statement. And that's it.
Going back now to Skiddler's tweet, as more people gathered round, Gross Gore became more aggravated and aggressive. He turned to one of my close friends who recently just turned 18, Alex. He screamed, quote, "What the fuck are you looking at?" unquote, in Alex's face, and then started pushing him. Alex's brother Dom tried to stand in between the two and stop Gross Gore from shoving Alex, but he was relentless and was shoving and screaming in both of their faces. Alex, being quite young, is like a brother to me, and I'll be honest, at this point I felt as though I needed to step in. I ran over to both of them and shoved Gross Gore out of Alex's way, at which point I was grabbed around the back of the neck by one of Gross Gore's friends and thrown into the side of a moving car. I was being held down by a couple of Gross Gore's friends when Gross Gore and another couple of his friends ran over and started repeatedly kicking me whilst I was on the ground. This all happened in a matter of seconds and was broken up very quickly after by police, bystanders, and Fox, who had ran out of the hotel to help me. Oh boy, there's going to be a lot to say about this one.
He was in the middle of these guys, there's a few guys, and he was loving it. He's like this. Yeah, gonna see a fight, can't wait to see Gross Gore get knocked out. And I'm angry at him because it's people like that you're not helping at all. You're not helping the situation and you need to leave. So I turned to the guy and I tried to escort it. So I go and I didn't punch him or kick him or... I didn't do that. I did. And I will say this. I said, leave. And I... Leave now. Leave. Go. Leave. Instead of understanding where I come from, the guy then turns to... verbally looks at me and says, oh, what? You want a fucking piece of me now, do ya? And I'm like, oh, so you do know what's going on. You know you and your friend wants to fight me, so you do know the situation. He's thrown himself at me, and immediately I've come back, and he hasn't landed anything. I've kind of done like a boxing move where I've kind of gone like that, and I've gone like that. As there's a law here in the UK called self-defense, and the first thing I'm thinking is restrain him, calm him down, restrain him, restrain him, restrain him. And anyone in the world, if you're gonna see a street fight, whoever throws the first punch, everyone's just gonna restrain that person. So I've managed to dodge insanely, amazingly good, I just want to add. And as I've come back, I thought to myself, he's gonna keep coming. I need to put this guy on the floor and restrain him. So I've come at him, and he's gone straight onto the floor, back of the head, smacked onto the back of a freaking cab. And a lot of people were saying, hey, Gross Gore nearly killed him by throwing him in the road. Guys, look at these muscles. Do you really... I don't work out, okay? Do you really think I tried to kill the guy? I didn't recall... He claims on Twitter that a lot of Gross Gore's friends were kicking the shit out of him on the floor. I don't remember that. And my friends have images, and very clean images, and they're not like that. So please don't get a wrong idea of my friends or people that work for me. That did not happen. They did not kick the shit out of you. And if they did, I would know it. Or they would have told me. And that is all false. So whoever it wasn't my friends.
Now, just real quickly here, going back to Skiddler's tweet that I thought was just worth mentioning quickly, and that was, I was taken to the side by the police, who let me go back into the hotel, and I believe Gross Gore and his friends were escorted off the premises by the police.
I had Ryan and MB Talks, and I had Slicker, and I had a police officer, and the police officer was going, calm down. So I said, police officer, my sister's in the force, and I've got no criminal record. It's not me. She said, okay, what's happened? I said, the guy's come at me with an attack for no reason. He just wants to fight me because I'm famous. That's what I told her. And she said, okay, that's fine, sir. And she goes, where are you going to go now? I said, well, we're going to a nightclub. So well, go enjoy your night. So to everybody out there, I was not arrested. I was not escorted off I was not escorted off the premises at all. I could have walked right back into that hotel, but I just thought, I just want to get away and I want to go clubbing. And yes, I'm a dad, but I had friends with me. And that's it.
You get me? What happened to Gross Gore at RuneFest then? Gross Gore fucked up one guy. Let's just say that. Gross Gore just dodged it. Man, man jabbed it. Man went down, hit the taxi, went down, mate.
So at the start of this video, I came into this with a fully unbiased opinion, but the actual evidence I am managing to find keeps stacking up more and more against what Gross Gore has been saying. Yet honestly, what concerns me more is that this is no longer between just two individuals. Hence why Jagex said we found that the content creators, not creator, plural, creators, breached our code of conduct. And I am not talking about ItsSliker or even the fight at this point. I am talking about evidence of sexual harassment, and after watching this video clip by Oak Dice, I am talking about evidence of sexual assault. Listen to this audio of a streamer who goes by the name of Graphist, aka Black, who can be seen all throughout the night of RuneFest with Gross Gore and Slicker.
Do you think maybe it could be because, well, because Alfie knows that you sexually assaulted me, right? Like, that's fact, right?
Yeah.
So, do you not think that he might think you're a bit of a danger in a way? Like, you go to TwitchCon, there's all these vulnerable girls. Do you not think maybe he is like, alright, well, I need to make sure everyone's safe, you know, make sure the girls are safe? Because if he thinks you're a legitimate, like, rapist or something, it's his kind of right or duty to protect people, right? I think that's where it's publicized, is because it's more of a danger.
Now you can check out this full video on Oakdice's channel in the link below, but honestly, Graphist buried himself with this single clip. But anyways, I just felt this was important to add as the evidence is showing a lot more to the story with this group of individuals than originally thought. But anyways, let's get back to the last part of Skiddler's tweet. I am particularly embarrassed by the state of affairs that took place on Saturday, specifically as this was an event that was put on by Jagex for both players and content creators alike, and I am there to represent them. I had no intention of a physical altercation taking place and would like to take this opportunity to apologize to Jagex, who hosted an amazing weekend and treated both myself and every other content creator like royalty. I do not, however, apologize for confronting Gross Gore about his relentless sexual harassment towards multiple women, including a close friend of mine. I do, on the other hand, wish that it hadn't escalated to the degree that it did. And just real quickly before we jump into Gross Gore's side of things on the matter, it should be noted that Jagex did post that neither Skiddler or Fox are impacted by anything in the news posts, nor is their relationship with us affected in any way. So that does confirm that by content creators, they are not talking about anyone from Skiddler's side of the party. But in the bigger picture of things, I know most people are thinking of this as just a small altercation, but there is no way that you're going to make it onto both of RuneScape's home pages for something negative, unless it was something very, very serious. I can't even recall the incident with like Cursed You or the incident with all the people involved in the duplication glitch. Like nothing like this has ever actually made it to the home page of RuneScape, and honestly kind of makes the whole a friend ordeal look not so bad anymore. But lastly, let's get into what Gross Gore had to say after he was told that he was not welcome back to any of Jagex's events, including RuneFest.
But I won't be going to RuneScape community. I won't go to RuneFest anymore because I'm out of place and I don't watch the event, and I'm only there to see friends. So that's that. So wait. And that's it really. As for the allegations against women, I could admit if I have a few drinks, I can come across as a bit flirty, but nothing, it's never serious. And people are going to say, but you have a girlfriend. Yes, I do, but my whole personality is very flirty. I flirt with guys, I flirt with girls, and it's 2018. If you flirt with a girl, some women out there, you flirt with them and they don't like you. They're going to go, you're harassing me. You're sexually harassing me.
So this tweet popped up shortly after RuneFest, showing Gross Gore being a little more than just flirty in this 6-second clip. Also, you will notice once again that with him is ItsSliker. And if you were unclear what was being said, someone said, "What the fuck are you doing?" And he yells, "She's my girlfriend, brah," which clearly the woman in the video is not his girlfriend, Rachel. And I saw some comments saying, "What's the big deal? He's just kissing her on the cheek," but you can clearly see he was going for her lips when she turned away, denying him. Or at least that's what I took from the footage. And finally, I'm just going to read over this article posted by Polygon. Jagex, the developers behind RuneScape, issued a statement to Polygon about the allegations surrounding Larson around the event, stating the team is conducting an investigation. Quote, Jagex is conducting an internal investigation following reports of unacceptable behavior from RuneFest attendees. The statement reads, we enforce a strict code of conduct for everyone attending RuneFest and take any matters concerning harassment or threats of any kind very seriously, unquote. Polygon reached out to Larson for statement but did not hear back by the time of publication. And updated 3 days ago, RuneScape developers Jagex has cut ties with Larson following allegations and a proper investigation from the team. The developer's full statement can be read below, which is just a statement that was posted on both of the RuneScape homepages. Please like, subscribe, and let me know what you think about this whole issue in the comments below. And that's going to do it for this video. Until next time, 9HP out.